Adoree Jackson, who came back for another season. Whew. Guys, I'm telling you, I was shocked that Adoree Jackson came back. I really was. Um, all the news coming out this past offseason was that the Giants were not very happy with his 2023 performance. Not just because he slipped, which, let's be honest, he didn't just slip, he fell down a few levels. He's nowhere near the player he was 2 years ago. But he had issues with, we talked about the dogging it with Banks. This guy definitely had issues with dogging it. Adoree Jackson was known for the guy that would just like whiff on tackles to running backs left and right. And he sat on free agency forever because when you don't show huge effort on some of those types of plays, and you throw in the declining skills, and you throw in the fact that people are thinking, okay, he got paid a lot of money the last time go around, he'll probably want some money. He didn't really get any attention. So the Giants pick him up really, really late. And let's be frank, they picked him up out of desperation. The Giants didn't pick him up because Adoree Jackson had a ton left in the tank. They didn't pick him up because Adoree Jackson was going to be great all around. They picked him up because they needed someone to play corner. They didn't have any solid veterans. They probably didn't have anybody solid at all. And Adoree Jackson, I got to say, I give the man credit, actually. He stepped up. He did what he could in a much more limited role than he's played in the past. And he did a little better than I expected, to be honest with you guys. 14 games overall, 5 starts, 28 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 5 passes deflected, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery, a 69.0 PFF grade overall, 54.5 in coverage, 85.8 in run defense. And what I'm noticing there, and the film backs it up when you watch what he did, he actually did try to tackle people this year. He really did. It's almost like the Giants sat him down before they signed him and was like, you know what? Yeah, I got to sit there and say, you weren't going after the running back. You weren't going for the hit. You're avoiding it. You're making business decisions. We can't have that if we bring you back here. I got to think that conversation was had because he definitely took it to heart. Either that or somebody on his team, whether agent, whatever, said to him point blank, hey, this might be why. And like I said, he took it to heart. He definitely made a change. Now, 54.5 coverage grade is not great. Not great at all. And listen, to be honest, I think it's time to move on from Adoree Jackson. I don't think he's the answer as far as, being part of that cornerback room. But I also thought the last year. And at the same point, we can sit there and say he gave a lot more effort this year. He just doesn't have the talent left. Adoree Jackson's that guy that he counted on speed to get the job done. And that was pretty obvious by watching the way he played. He counted on speed. And he's had injuries every single year. He's missed time every single year. And he's just at that point now, I think, in his career where the injuries have added up to where he's just not the player he was. And that happens to the best of them. But especially when you have somebody who's very injury prone, that happens. So, like I said, I appreciate that fact that he gave a lot more effort this year. So I do think that's true. So I'm not even trying to be like a jerk about it. Be legit. Like, I appreciate it. As a Giants fan, it's nice to see that. I want to see people actually giving effort. But I think he's that guy that just his time has passed him. And if you bring him back next year, you're bringing him back specifically to be a veteran presence in that corner room. And only the Giants and players on the locker room know if he brings enough value as a veteran leader to bring him in for that reason. We can't sit there and say that. We're not there in the locker room. We're not there in the conversations. And I don't hear much about how he is in the locker room as far as that. Some players, like guys like Slayton, you hear about it nonstop. You see it with Dexter Lawrence, the way he talks to the media. You don't really hear that with Adoree Jackson. And if that value is not there, it's time to move on. Just time. So
If you like that clip, then you will love the full episodes too. Find us on your favorite podcast app and look for us on all your favorite social media platforms.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please,